Chris writes, given Patrick Stewart has become even more famous over the past 15 years due to his role in X-Men, what do you think of the idea of him reprising his role as Picard in Star Trek 3 in some way? Given this new Star Trek franchise has been confident enough to play with timelines and to introduce Spock twice, it doesn't seem far-fetched that the writers could find a way to bring him in. What do you think?
Hate the idea, and here's why. Because what we're describing here now is, let's make the movie serve an actor. Let's make the movie serve a character. Right. Characters and actors are there to serve the movie. You don't change your movie or make up a movie just so we could fit in something, right? Like with Leonard Nimoy in the J.J. Abrams films, there was a narrative need in that movie to tie together and illustrate the differences between the brand new Star Trek universe and the pre-existing timeline, and how those two split. And they needed a thread. Leonard Nimoy and Spock represented a perfect narrative tool to serve that need. They didn't go, we gotta make room in our story so we can squeeze in a Leonard Nimoy character. That wasn't the way it started. It started with J.J. Abrams going, we have a narrative issue. This fixes our narrative issue. Now look, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. The other Star Treks are gone now. You know, the original timeline, all that kind of stuff. And I don't think even if it wasn't for the tragedy of the passing of Leonard Nimoy, I don't think they would have used him in the next film. I mean, I don't know that. I'm just speculating because I think they understand it was time to move on. Even in the last one, Spock's sudden appearance felt way too convenient. It's like, let's have a floating head come in and explain everything. That felt forced to me. In the first film, it was perfect. Mm-hmm. So it's time to move on from that. This is our new Star Trek universe. I don't want to see William Shatner in it, and I love William Shatner, but it's time to just move on. Anyway, Mark, how do you see it?
I think seeing William Shatner would be way too jarring, and I think that the way that they showed Spock in the first film was so natural, but that also speaks to Leonard Nimoy's ability and that character, is that he is this more understated dude. As somebody who doesn't really have a history of being a Star Trek fan, I think it would be neat just to watch on screen and feel that ripple in the theater, like, oh my God, they got Picard and now he's in this universe. I hear it didn't work that well in Star Trek Generations. I never saw that film. So I understand why you don't want to throw somebody in there just for the sake of saying, oh, we got another famous dude in our movie now, so you got to see how we work him in here. I don't think it's necessary to that story. It'd be neat from a distance to see Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard again somewhere. I don't think it's right for Star Trek 3.
Yeah, I agree. It would be a disservice to Star Trek The Next Generation, I think, personally. I love that series. I love Patrick Stewart as Picard. He doesn't have to pop up in this weird alternate timeline universe, this pocket Star Trek that they restarted, rebooted. I loved the first one, and I'm one of the people who liked the second one. There's all these people who hated the Wrath of Khan, or I can't even remember what it was called. Oh, Star Trek Into Darkness, the remake of the Wrath of Khan. But the JJ mystery box, Benedict Cumberbatch, who is he? He's Khan. What? You know, all the weirdness. So, but I actually liked it. I didn't hate on it, and I was looking forward to Orsi's Star Trek 3. I heard that the script was just too Star Trek. That's why he got fired, and that's why he got canned, because it was, so your Star Trek script, I believe, is too Star Trek. You're fired. So I feel bad about that whole situation. I know it was like we were talking about this and that, but then when you really think about it, it's like they're trying to make Star Trek. They're not trying to make Guardians of the Galaxy, but now I hear they're trying to make Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's called Star Trek 3. So my verdict is like, I'm out until I actually see the movie to see what they're doing, because I don't know right now. Whether or not they throw Picard in is not going to make Star Trek 3 good or bad. It's what are they going to do with Star Trek 3?
See, I love the direction the new Star Trek films have been going. I really like the first JJ one. I really like the second one. And they are very, very different from the TV series.
Very different.
Like, that's what a lot of people say. These movies aren't good because they're not like the original TV series. Who the hell cares if it's like the original TV series? Look at it and judge it on its own merits. And I contend, from my personal point of view, that those two movies on their own are really fun films. They decided to make them those types of films, and if they continue to go in that direction, I'd be all for it. The other thing with the things you guys brought up about Patrick Stewart is this. I think, honestly, that the series finale of Star Trek The Next Generation, and the name of the episodes were All Good Things, ... which is obviously All Good Things Come to an End. I think that was the most perfect series finale in the history of television. It wrapped everything up so emotionally perfectly. I thought the resolutions and all this kind of, I just thought it was the best ending to a TV show like ever. let Picard go.
Right, it's done. It's done.
You look like you were dying to say something.
No, now I want to go watch this episode.
No, you should see it.
It's so hard to end a TV series.
No, the
right.
Next
You can't
Generation
always
is
just
a
put on
good
Journey
show.
and just cut it off prematurely.
Just put on Journey and cut it off.
Now I got to watch this.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.